Well, if you can't tell, we're not in Florida anymore. We are back in Tennessee. We're back home. But we had a great trip, and so we just wanted to make this video. We didn't do much of a vlog style video, but just tried to capture little bits and things here and there that we could take you guys along with us. We wanted to focus on vacation, but also capture moments and put them in basically a home movie, because that's all this channel really is for us.
Yeah. So there's lots of just little clips and pictures and things that we're gonna walk you guys through to give a little bit more explanation on some stuff. But anyways, let's jump right into this.
Yeah. This is the first time that we've ever had a boat on vacation.
Yes.
We've had a lot of kayaks on vacation. We've taken our kayaks on vacation multiple times, but this time we purposefully rented a house that came with a houseboat. Or a houseboat. A pontoon boat.
Yes.
Which was awesome. And it gave us the ability to go out and go further than we've ever gone before in the ocean. And we actually were able to go to an island.
How cool is that?
It's called Anaclote Key. So we were staying in Newport Richey / Tarpon Springs area. And so the house was right there on the Gulf. We took it out and had some pretty intense instructions.
Yeah.
But all in all, some good ones that helped us to get out and navigate.
Very clear instructions that were extremely helpful.
Yeah.
So it helped us get out into the actual ocean, navigating the canals and things, but we get out to the ocean and we're able to hit up the island.
Yeah. And speaking of clear, that's what the water was.
Oh my
I
goodness.
joked that was the closest that we'd ever come to going to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, that's iffy, but still, like, you drove and all of a sudden, like, as you were coming out of the neighborhood and, like, you would come out of that canal, once you got to the Gulf, the watercolor completely changed.
Yeah.
It lightened up. It was beautiful. And, you know, we were able to see some pretty impressive things. We saw manta rays. We don't have a video clip, but we saw what I assume are manta rays or just giant stingrays literally jump out of the water. It looked like a huge bird just coming out of the water and going right back in.
It happened so fast that there was no way, and it only happened that one time.
Yeah.
So, like, there's various things like that that happened while on the boat that we just couldn't capture all of it, but it was such a wonderful thing.
What we did capture is how much our son loved the boat.
Yes.
And was able to take the boat out. He wanted to drive and hang out, and then he especially wanted to do donuts.
Yeah.
But then after he did donuts, he wanted to think that he could write his name, because his name starts with an O. And so he's like, well, I want to write the rest of my name, because we had a GPS that told us where you were going, so he got really into that.
I blame Trip Smith's videos for that.
It was a lot of fun to have the boat, and the boat allowed us to go fishing on the last day and do better than I've ever done fishing in the ocean.
Yes.
In the past, I've caught some cool fish. I've caught some snook. I've actually caught tarpon, which was very difficult to do. I've caught a lot of fish in the ocean. We've caught a lot of catfish in the ocean.
A lot of catfish.
Which I didn't ever think was a thing until we started doing it. But this was the first time that I caught such variety. Our son was able to catch a pufferfish.
2 pufferfish and a sea trout.
Yeah, once all by himself. The sea trout were by far his favorite, because obviously a pufferfish you're not going to hold, but he could hold the sea trout, as you can see in some of these pictures, and then just throw them right back into the water.
Yeah. And some of the other fish that we caught, we didn't know what they were, so just to be on the safe side, we didn't let him hold them.
Yeah, there were some fish, like I could tell this is some kind of snapper or something, you know, like there were some simple things, but then there's other things that I caught. The first fish that I caught, I still don't know. It was like an ocean-looking monster. It wasn't very big, but it had teeth, and it was a weird-shaped head. It was just bizarre.
Yeah. So we just tried to be very careful on what we let him hold and release.
Yeah.
But he absolutely loved it. That was fantastic for him.
I wish we had gone fishing earlier in the week and figured it out, but I'd hurt my finger, and so we went out on the boat very early in the trip, but then after I got hurt, I really didn't want to play anymore.
Yeah.
What it came down to, and so we didn't figure out the fishing until the last day, but it still made for an epic day.
Yes.
And one of the highlights of the trip for sure.
It really helped us end on a very high note, which was fantastic. So that was just a wonderful thing. We enjoyed being able to take the boat to the island and find seashells and sand dollars and see this little, it's 2 fish. I was going to say little school of fish, but they're just 2 fish that were huge, absolutely massive, as tall as our son, just swim across the shoreline. And that day, we really had the whole island to ourselves for the
It was like
first
having
2
a
mornings.
private beach experience, because
Yeah.
you'd get out there early enough in the day before other people made it over there. So the boat was definitely a highlight.
Yes. One of the things that our son also really enjoyed is all of the ice cream.
We had a lot of ice cream.
But there was a lot of great ice cream places in the area, and like I think we only went to 2 of them. But our your parents took our son to another ice cream place that we had looked at before, and it was just a really good experience and very, very tasty.
Yeah, like at one place I got an apple pie a la mode. So it was basically apple pie and ice cream. It was one of the best ice creams I've ever ate.
It was delicious.
The other place we went to was called Twisty Freeze, I think.
Yeah, Twisty Freeze.
I think it was Twisty Freeze, something like that. We can show you a picture of the building here, but it was a super cool building, which was what made me want to go, and the pictures online looked great. I was a little disappointed because I wanted candy on my ice cream cone, and for them to do the big ice cream cone and the candy, they just put a cone and then they just like dunk it in a cup.
Yeah.
And give you the cup, and I was like, well, that's a little bit of a letdown, but it still tasted great. The funny thing is, sorry.
I was just going to say, it was also so hot that they
That's what I was gonna
couldn't.
mention. Well, it's so hot that like really the best time to eat ice cream, like for you, is when it's hot because it'll cool you off, but then really the best time to eat ice cream is when it's cold so it doesn't melt everywhere.
Yeah.
And that made the biggest mess at that place.
Oh my goodness. I was the only smart one and got mine just like in a cup. I don't remember what it was called. Like they had a special name for it, but mine was just a blended ice cream. It's like a McFlurry.
Yeah.
So that was absolutely delicious and the least messy of all of the options.
What's it taste like?
Blueberry cheesecake.
Blueberry cheesecake.
Yes, it
Hey, sugar spoon. Changes colors when it gets colder. What do you think of that?
mine. It's purple and it's cold.
This really tastes like apple pie. I've never had ice cream that tastes exactly like that before.
This one is like real blueberry cheesecake.
Yeah, and then there was the food. We could talk a lot about food. There was a bunch of different restaurants we ate at. We ate in a, like a, I don't know, Asian fusion restaurant maybe. And that had some really great stuff. It was a really nice experience.
We were so hungry that day though that we didn't take any pictures of the food.
Yeah. And then, you know, we went to Rusty Belly's, which is a seafood place where they catch the fish. They have their own boats. They own the seafood market right next door, so you know you're getting great stuff. You got an incredible salad.
Yeah, that's the only thing we took a picture of.
Yeah, because that was what was so amazing. I got a po' boy. It was a po' boy. Had a lot of shrimp on it. It was great. But your salad was it was really good, and it was just amazing.
It was huge and just piled on full of all the different toppings and things, and it was just delicious.
But then the best place that we ate at, and I'm still not sure how you say it because it's H''OURS, but it's supposed to be Ours Creole Smokehouse. I keep wanting to say Cajun, but it was Creole. That was food that I just can't explain. Here's a clip to see what we thought of it after we ate there. We're just leaving Ours, I think it's how you say it, Creole restaurant. One of the best meals we've ever had.
Amazing, absolutely amazing.
I had etouffee for the first time and crawfish. She had jambalaya, the best seasonings, best flavors we've ever had. Literally, one of the main reasons we come back to this area right here.
1000%. Like, it started off with the bread. The bread was amazing, and then you bring out the food, and it was just superb.
We seriously love that restaurant.
Seriously,
I would
loved it.
love to go back. My mouth watered just now. 2 or 3 weeks removed. I don't even know how long we've been back.
I know, it's been a minute.
Removed thinking about that food. I've never left a restaurant like that before. I've never left thinking I'm sad.
Yeah.
And
like,
so,
how am I gonna get this again?
and we make gumbo, but our gumbo is different. You know, we've never made etouffee.
Yeah.
I don't know how you buy crawfish without having to like pull all the meat out of them.
I don't want to do that.
So I don't know how we could recreate it, but my goodness, I could eat that every day. That was a great restaurant. If you're ever in Tarpon Springs, I highly recommend that. And there's a lot.
I will say it is on the expensive side.
Oh, it was extremely
So
expensive.
forewarning. But
I'll tell you right
if
now.
you like the food,
So we didn't take a picture, I don't think, of our starting things, but I
No.
got a small bowl of gumbo.
Mhm.
You got a small house salad,
Yep.
and then you got that chicken jambalaya.
Yep.
Half smoked chicken jambalaya. There's ants everywhere. And then on us, not the
Yes.
restaurant.
sorry,
And
we're
then
outside.
I got a crawfish and shrimp etouffee.
Mhm.
And for us to get those, and all we had to drink was water. After our tip, it was about $90 just for the two of us.
Yep.
Because that was like our date night meal.
Yeah.
It was fabulous. I would do it again, but it is worth understanding it's expensive.
Yes. So if you're on a budget, it's not the place to go. But if you have a little money to blow,
Yeah.
go for it.
And that was in Tarpon Springs. And so, like we said, we were in Newport Richey, right next to Tarpon Springs. We loved Tarpon Springs. Newport Richey was fine. It had more of like the outdoors places you could go to,
Yeah.
but there wasn't a great city vibe. Even in their historic downtown, really wasn't a lot going on. But when you pop over to Tarpon Springs, you get their downtown, which had a lot of cool stuff going on.
And like, so there's two downtown areas.
That's what I was
like
gonna say.
really. So there's downtown, and then there's the Sponge Docks.
Yeah, and the Sponge Docks is an incredible place to go.
Oh my gosh.
First of all, I didn't know sponges could be in more of a shape than like this. And so we bought one. It's in our bathroom. Here's a picture of that. Seems weird, but
Yay.
I love the sponge. I actually found a great deal on that sponge. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of other sponges that size at other stores were like $50
Double.
to $70.
Yeah.
And I got that one for $35. And so it was just a great deal for that sponge. But they had so many unique things. There's so many unique buildings. I actually have a lot of pictures of that. So I'm
Okay.
sure we can throw all
Yeah.
kinds of just that town and area because it's a Greek town. It was a Greek settlement, and there's still a very heavy Greek influence,
Yes.
including another restaurant that we did not mention in that other segment because it applies so much to just
To
Tarpon
the-
Springs.
yeah.
If you're in Tarpon Springs, you need to experience the Greek culture and the Greek food, and so you got to go to Hella's. They have a
Yes.
restaurant and a bakery.
Oh my gosh. You have to do both. You have to. You can't do one.
First of
because
all-
the food.
The bakery, I'm sorry, but the bakery, we went two different directions, but the bakery is just beautiful.
Gorgeous.
The way that it's laid out, like it's just like it
Oh.
would have been when they built it.
Yeah.
They even have a part of the case, the display case that's
That,
inside
like,
the
comes
store,
out.
comes out of the store and is like out there in the main street,
Yeah.
through the window, so that you can see the delicious stuff they have. And so
Oh.
we ate there twice.
Yeah.
You can tell we liked Tarpon Springs because 3 of the restaurants we ate at were in Tarpon Springs, and we went back to that restaurant or that bakery twice
Yeah.
just to get things, and everything we got was delicious.
Yes. The bakery was phenomenal, and like we tried to venture out of our comfort zone just a little bit on certain, like when we're out, we try to try other
Yeah.
things.
And that's what we did at the restaurant.
Yes.
Which was more it's
it was
easy to step
more
out of
out.
step out of your comfort zone with like a dessert and a baked good, easy.
Yeah.
Doing it with food is different, and so I'm a little more apt to that than you are.
Yes.
But
I'm very hesitant.
But we decided to do it, and we got a sampler meal.
Yeah.
And it came with just multiple different Greek items.
Yeah. It was like just small bit, enough to share really
Yeah.
with someone. If you tried to eat that by yourself, I don't know how you could
It'd
because
be a lot of food.
we couldn't.
But it's also $30, so it was a good meal just to split in half for the both of us, and it was delicious.
And it was the perfect amount to share, but everything on there was so good.
I wish I could remember what the little things they were wrapped. It was a
In grape
olive
leaves.
leaf or grape leaf. Sorry,
Yeah.
it was a grape leaf, and there was rice and some kind of meat, and definitely mint in
Definitely
there
mint.
that wrapped around it. But it tasted so good,
Yeah.
and you loved it a lot.
I loved it.
I would eat it, but it was like it was a little too refreshing for me. Like I like savory more
Yeah.
than that. So
Well, and being in Florida in the summer, pregnant, like I was toasty, so having the ability to eat something that was so
Yeah.
refreshing was amazing.
I'm sure. Yeah, I can I was more just, and the thing is right now, like I don't know, this year it's been different. The whole time in Florida, like there were times where I was warm, but everybody else was like, oh my goodness.
Told you,
Ants.
there's ants.
Everybody else said it was so hot the whole time, and I was pretty comfortable, to be perfectly honest. Now, you were pregnant, obviously, but even my parents, who are normally cold nature, were like, man, it's hot. And I think, I'm glad this year I've been able to handle the heat better than before. So, that was just a great blessing for me, so I didn't have that experience. But the food was good. There was some Euro meat on there.
Yeah.
There was so many different things that I hadn't tried before, like these little, there's 2 different kinds of, like, basically like almost a lasagna.
Shepherd's pie lasagna thingy, because they were topped with mashed potatoes.
But I didn't see any food get taken out to the table that didn't look good in that restaurant. So if you want to experience the true part of Tarpon Springs and the Greek side of it, then definitely do that. But something that's also cool is if you look on Google Maps, which is something that I'm big on, you'll see, and we might be able to put a screenshot in here, but you'll zoom in and you'll see where it says like Tarpon Springs Bayou or something like that. I was like, well, I'm curious to see about that. And as I was looking at that, I saw there was a museum nearby. And apparently they don't get a lot of out-of-town guests, but we went in and it was a museum half about what Tarpon Springs is, but then half about this local artist who had painted a big like seal for a hospital that incorporated a lot of Tarpon Springs. It was very educational, interesting, and he had some amazing paintings. And he even had this device that you could paint underwater, because he would paint everything while like looking at it. Like he wanted to be able to see everything he was painting, and so he painted in full scuba gear underwater with this unique device that I'd never seen before.
In order to capture just how everything was. He very much so was like sight.
Yeah, very tactile, like wanted to see everything in its place to paint it.
Even with some stuff, he like set up a frame and set things on it to mimic how the seal was going to go, because certain things were going to come over.
And then had real people. It was really unique and a good experience. So I'd recommend going to that museum. You'll see the name of it here. You can put a picture. It's a super cool place, but then you could walk around the bayou, and we've got tons of pictures that you're seeing now of these beautiful houses that were built there originally, and it was just a really unique area, to be honest, and just like some unique architecture and things like that. Apparently the manatees come into that bayou if you're there in like January time frame. They come up because there's a spring there. Maybe that's what it was, something spring bayou or something. But there's a spring there, and so the manatees come up for that different water temperature in the winter and the fall and things like that. And so that's a highly recommend. And that museum was cool. It was only $5 a head, which I think is worth it. And then from there you could walk into Tarpon Springs, the downtown area, if you wanted to. So we loved Tarpon Springs. It was a really awesome place.
Highly recommend. Like I said to friends before, like we loved the house and everything that we stayed in and all the amenities with that, and the hosts were amazing. But everything we really enjoyed about the trip, other than what was included with the house, was Tarpon Springs. So if you're gonna do something, go to Tarpon Springs. Like, wow, it's amazing. One thing that we did is we gave the grandparents a day with our son.
So we haven't mentioned that yet, but they went with us, and I think you'll probably see them in the fishing stuff and things like that. Like my dad caught the first fish when we were fishing, but they went with us, which was a great blessing both to us and I think to them as well. They wanted to come. They wanted to spend time with our son, their grandson, and so we gave them a full day to do whatever they wanted, and they went to the aquarium. Yes,
and it's just I say it's a small aquarium based upon the aquariums we have.
It had more than I assumed. Now, it's no Tennessee Aquarium in Chattanooga that's got 2 buildings and tons of things. But for what it was, it sounded really interesting.
And there was a lot of hands-on things, a lot of shows. So it was really neat. But our son and the guy that did all of the shows apparently clicked, and they became best friends. And he even gave our son a private demonstration of an alligator training session.
He was training it before the show, and he let our son get to be a part of it.
Uh-oh.
So I'm super happy my parents took him along with them for that, because you just got to have experiences that you don't always get to have.
Yeah, he got to feed a chameleon. He held an alligator.
That was a cool clip. Here's that clip right here. I'll give you the audio and everything, because that clip is awesome.
All right, hold on to that. Have you held a bug before?
No.
Okay, perfect. Here, hold it by the end of the bug. There you go. It's just going to wiggle. Now hold your hand out right here. All right, don't blink, guys. Hold it right here, okay? She's going to see that bug wiggling. Oh, there she goes. Hold it out. Hold it out. Woo! Give her a big round of applause, guys.
I'm kind of glad that that was him and not me, because I don't know if I could have let it do it and not kind of jump back. We've had animals before in the past. We've had lizards and we've had tortoises and stuff, and any animal that moves quickly, sometimes it'll still cause me to jump as a grown man, and so I think he handled that really well.
He did really great.
For his age.
The funniest thing to me was, though, every time the guy asked him, like, have you ever done this, his answer was no. Like, so in that clip with the chameleon, he goes, have you ever held a bug? He goes, no. But it's because he hadn't ever held that bug.
Yeah, he's funny. It was a great time for them, and I'm so glad that they were like really able to get out there and get to do that.
And then they got to take him to one of the ice cream places, and they played in the pool after they got done with all that stuff. It was just a wonderful time for them, and then for us, because we got to have a nice relaxing morning and then go out on our date.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Oh, it's all fish.
I bet you're used to getting fed, aren't you? Yes, you're used to getting fed.
Donut shark.
Is it the donut shark?
Yes.
Is it so fun?
Yes.
Remember, we're not allowed to touch the fish,
Yes.
just the shark. He likes it all, doesn't he?
Yes, he wants it all.
You want to see if the little brown one will want some?
Little brown. That one wants some. He
Say good morning.
loves me. He loves me. Oh. Hello. You want this candy? I don't know what that one's doing. He's so fun.
Arms on here at the base of the tail. So just keep the head upwards. And
He's
smile.
trying to scratch me.
Don't worry, it doesn't hurt too bad.
Gotta get in front of you. There you go. Good job. What do you think?
Fun.
Awesome, buddy.
Awesome.
cheese.
Cheeseburger.
It feels fun.
Okay. So, can you tell us what he's going to do, Ollie? Is he going to eat a hot dog?
Yes.
Don't do it. Oh my goodness. Uh-oh.
He wants to eat. He wants to eat those hot dogs. Uh-oh.
Aww.
What
Is that his mouth making that noise? What do you think?
I think he's just banging his mouth.
So to put into perspective, a large male African lion has about 650 pounds per square inch of bite force, right, in their jaws. He has 1,000. Good job, buddy. So that is a very big difference for a smaller animal, right?
So all in all, it was an awesome trip. It was a great time to relax, get to connect with family, and just get to have, you know, those moments that you don't get in everyday life. I think that we always all want to live on vacation all the time, but it would lose the luster it has now if we did. And so it's good to come back home, but also get to go on those trips. And I think it's going to be so much more fun as we've got 2 kids like going to be with us in the future on trips. You know, when our daughter comes here in a few months, and so that idea of seeing how those things are going to change and being able to have that trip with them really before that was just a great blessing. And so I think it all worked out so well. You know, our family does so well in the car. We don't do tablets and things like that. And so he made it there and back with very little complaints, very little issues. Our dog does great in the car.
Yeah.
I don't know how we'll figure out the travel settings next time that we do something like that, but
That'll be an adventure.
it really was a great trip, and this isn't our normal kind of video, but we hope that you guys liked it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all those great things, and be sure to check out some of our other content, because we normally do a lot more of the vlog style thing, but I think it's good to try to capture moments as well as trying to enjoy your moments in the family. And telling a story isn't easy.
No.
It's much easier to come back and tell a story like this, and so we wanted to be able to just do something different, but be able to have this video to look back on in the future. So even if nobody else watches it, I'm glad we've made it. I'm glad we can have this conversation about it, and that we'll be able to look back on these clips and videos in a way that we're not just scrolling through our phones searching to find them. We can even search this trip by name one day on YouTube. So
it's such a blessing to have that back catalog, and I wish we would have done better about having more through the years, but what we do have and what we are continuing to make has been really great.
Yeah, and hopefully we can do better moving forward at just capturing things, but it's not always easy. I think it really comes down to one of us just has to shove a camera in the other's face and get what you can get, even if we're not happy about it.
And learning through this process of having a video every week has taught us that you just got to do it.
Yeah. Well, the hardest hurdle in life is to actually get started in something. And so that's what it really comes down to. But anyways, we hope you guys liked this video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
God bless.
God bless. Oh, wait. Here's some other clips and things that maybe didn't make it in. Here's a compilation and any funny stuff that happened, because I don't know what you've got.
I got some stuff.
See ya. You just gotta open it. Now walk behind it. That's the door.
That means they went and got it, didn't check.
That's pretty smart parenting. You gotta go up that staircase every time you want to do it. Extra wear them out.
Want to work here? No? Okay. All right, sorry for asking.